American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy Gazpacho.
Forbes can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Right, did you know that Arsenal died?
He's got me buzzing.
Up the TOFFEEs. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm not even gonna comment on that. Welcome back to Footy with the boys. We are one last boy. We do not have Mike Tracy. He is on ground in person doing some journalistic things in Costa Rica, making sure to check in with Keylor Navas and Joel Campbell, all the Costa Rican greats there. But don't worry, we still have a Toffee fan. We still have a Gunner fan. So we'll be doing our check-ins on them after some eventful weeks there. We'll get into a new segment with the boys. We're going to be doing a Wonder Grid. So we're going to put our ball knowledge to the test. Lock the week as always. US men's national team as always to close it out. But Nick, as we always do, let's start with the big news. And boy, oh boy, were we excited for Tottenham, Manchester United. And boy, was it as shit as ever. 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. James Maddison, the Dartman himself, Luke, the new Hitler-esque, with a massive goal there for a 1-0 win over Manchester United. Happened early in the 13th minute. No type of response for Manchester United in this one. And after the game, says he does not have sympathy for Mr. Ruben Amorim. No sympathy cards for any managers. Welcome to my world. Which, Nick, to be fair, welcome to his world, because he's been shit for a long time. These other people they're just entering his realm here. But speaking of entering a shit realm, Manchester United are now below Everton. What a phrase that is. They are 12 points off of relegation. I mean, we're talking relegation rather than Europe at this point for Manchester United. 15th, 3 spots away. It is 12 points, but could it actually happen? I mean, man, you really have to go from bad to worse.
Dude, I got an alert on my phone when the game ended yesterday from Bleacher Report, and it said Tottenham wins relegation rumble. And I was like, oh no. that is a tough headline for the boys. 12 points is a lot. But if you're asking me, can Man U lose 4 in a row? Yes, they can. So maybe. Here's hoping. I know I think like PFT at Barstool has a bet slip for Man U going down. and that baby would pay out some big boy cash. Crazy. So fingers crossed, long may it happen. And just comments post game were so funny too. They were like, do you have any sympathy for Amorim? And he's like, him? What about me? And I was like, okay, guy, you need to relax a little bit. But yeah, two clubs not having a good go at it, and long may it continue. It has been a fun hate watch with these two teams for the past like 4 months. So hope we see some more of it. But yeah, awful game.
Yeah, awful game. Manchester United, really tough position in the table. The worst finish they would ever have had, which would follow up last year's finish, which was the worst they had ever had. So
I think
it doesn't.
I think the Io's out too. I think the Io's out for the year too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it felt like the one bright spot.
If it adds any more insult to injury, Anthony has gone to Real Betis. He has like 3 goals in 5 games or something like that.
Yeah,
he had a beautiful volley and then just a backflip and celebrate. He's doing things we never knew he could do over in Betis. It might just be the worst place to be right now. If you are a talented footballer, do not go to Manchester United, because it just seems to be nothing is working there. It just seems to be a talent suck no matter what.
I mean, the Anthony thing is good news for them though, because he's on loan, right? So hopefully they can. Yes. I mean, they're not going to get the $100 million or whatever they paid for the guy, but 30 maybe. Yeah, 20 something.
Yeah.
So
hopefully they can get something, but. I mean, that's the thing is they need money. They need to sell players so they can have money to spend to be able to pass financial fair play things. And they need to invest heavy because they need just an entirely new squad, essentially. I saw an article today that was making its way around the internet because of the headline, which is saying Manchester United dealt massive blow because Casemiro wants to stay. That's just fucked.
That is a blow.
But it is just the truth. I mean, they need those players, especially with the high wages, off their books, and they need people to be sold for money. So Manchester United are in a tough position. Everton looking all right above them right now on the table. Let's go to Arsenal. Nick, I think the biggest thing to talk about with Arsenal right now is really just injuries. And I think you have a game against West Ham coming up. I don't know how you feel about that one. Obviously, you got the win versus Leicester. It's a different level. Leicester right now is only above Southampton. West Ham is not that much better. I mean, they're above Wolves and Ipswich. That's the only difference between them. They have talent. It's not looking good. How much do the injuries maybe impact how you see that one? Because I think that takes all the headlines rather than anything else here.
Yeah, listen, I mean, the injuries are a big concern. Havertz out for the year was a gut punch. Martinelli out for an extended time. Obviously, Saka's been out. Jesus out for the year as well. So that is 4 right there of your... I mean, that is your top 4 attackers going into the year. So that is your top 4 attackers going into the year. And, you know, Leo Trossard is the only guy with any sort of credibility who's holding it down in the front, at least going into the year. And because Nwaneri, obviously, we'll talk about him in a second. But yeah, the injuries are a big deal. West Ham, I think like a little run of Leicester and West Ham is probably a good 2-week run. Rumors that Saka's back early March. So good timing there. Obviously, we also have the Nottingham game, which is going to be a big game with their amazing form this year. But I've seen a lot of people talking online and saying like, man, the board really fucked Arteta, didn't get him a signing in January. And then I've seen the other side of, well, Arteta's spent like $700 million since he's been here for what, like 5-6 years now. And this is the squad he built. I really don't know where I fall on that. I think the right answer is like both of them deserve blame. I don't think Arteta needed to target his, 4th center back this summer, even though I love Calafiori. But also when you look at his primary targets, like I know it didn't work out, but we were supposed to be heavily interested in Mudryk, and he never got that man. We were heavily interested in Isak. He went to Newcastle. We were heavily interested in Sesko this past summer. He didn't get signed either. And it's mostly been because like the price tag has been slightly too high. So if you want to blame the board a little bit for that, I get that too. Either way, whoever you blame, Arteta or the board, the fact of the matter is that we are 4 points off top or whatever it is right now, 7 maybe. 7 points off top, and this is the squad we have. This is the team that we have. So we have to make do. I don't know if there's an answer in the problem. Marino with a big 2 goals, looking, I think a lot of people making the comparison of like, an 8 or, a midfielder playing in that false 9, kind of similar to what Kai Havertz brought. They're obviously not the same player. Havertz can do that a lot better than Marino can, but a similar profile. So maybe we see that happen again. Sterling's clearly not the answer. We got him for free and they robbed us. I mean, that guy is as washed gets. But at least he's experienced. Really, the only reason this team is still like why I'm still feel confident, we'll talk about it in the lock of the week, but why I still feel confident we get a result versus West Ham, why I feel confident we can grind out a result versus Nottingham. We have a real difference maker in attack, and his name is Ethan Nwaneri. That man that assist that he had, he put 2 other shots one off the crossbar, one off the post with his weaker foot. He is magic every time he gets the ball. He drives forward. It looks like he does whatever he wants, and to be 17 doing what he's doing. Also, Miles Lewis-Skelly, who made the block when it was still 0-0. I mean, at this point, I've talked about the 2 of them a lot, but their emergence as legitimate, very good Premier League players makes this squad look a lot stronger than what it looked like at the beginning of the year. And maybe you give some credit to Arteta for saying those 2 guys can make contributions. I think they kind of got forced into that position, to be fair. But still, I mean, they are running with the opportunity right now, and they make this team a lot stronger where they are. And I'm really curious to see what they do with Nwaneri when Saka gets back. I'm really hoping we can fit both those guys into the side because right now
room with the injuries.
But I mean, neither of them are really left wing. If you want to play Saka left wing, I think that could work. Trossard down the middle and Nwaneri on the right is what I would go with when he gets back. But I mean, those two guys have raised this team to another level. And the fact that they're both 17 years old is absolutely insane. They are bona fide, like really good Premier League players. And both of them can be stars in the future, in my opinion, like real stars. I'd rather have both of them than like Kobe Mainu than name any other Premier League youngster not named Cole Palmer, like those are the level that these guys are. Miles Lewis-Skelly's a center mid, by the way. He's not even a left back. Yeah. He's just dominating at left back. So those two still give me a lot of confidence for these next couple of weeks so we can get through it. And once Saka gets back, then we can really mount a title push. We still have Dex, obviously. We still have that center back pairing. We still have Raya. We still have Odegaard. So I think there's enough there in these next couple of weeks, but obviously the striker injury is a big issue.
Yeah. Nick, that was kind of something we talked about at the start of the season is even with everybody healthy, I mean, I was adamant that no, they needed to invest in more attack and they needed more depth because you see that with Manchester City, and obviously it's not working out for them here with their own injuries, but you saw depth in the past of their squads and they let some of that go here to Saudi Arabia to wherever. And it hasn't worked out for them with injuries, mostly obviously Rodri for them, but with Arsenal here, you have so many injuries up top. The depth was a concern for a while. You saw like AC Milan, who don't spend big bucks. They spend, smaller amounts and do more like $20 million transfers, loan moves. They brought in a lot of players, and they don't have a shot at really the Serie A. They're really just trying to bolster the squad. They seem to have a desperation to win. Why does Arsenal not have that desperation? Why do we not see more in the January window to bring in just at least bodies that can kind of help out, make some depth? Because I think it's been apparent the entire year. There's been injury issues and there needs to be depth.
No, I disagree. I mean, look, there were at the start of the year, I would say 4.5, and I think at the point that Jesus kind of round back into form, I would say there were 5 guys for 6 spots in that front line before the year started, and then you add in Nwaneri, there's 6. To have your starting 3 attackers and your main backup attacker all injured, I don't care what kind of depth you have. If that happens to Man City, you have if you have Haaland, Foden, and Savio all out, and then you also toss in Doku's also out or something like that. I mean, what can you do?
But I'm saying is Martinelli, I don't think was that high end. I think Martinelli is more so of, I think he's proven this year just not the title winning winger that you need to have out on the outside. I mean, you look at Liverpool, and the reason they're seem like a buzzsaw is they have Luis Diaz, they have the Salah. Both wings are absolutely stacked up, and then you have people who can just put balls in the back net, can back it up with Jota, with Gakpo, with So it's just, I don't know. It's just yes, you have a lot of people injured, but there wasn't that depth to begin with, and now you're kind of seeing it really bottom out.
I think depth isn't the issue than what you're saying. I think it's just like the actual quality of the players there. I think they had plenty of depth and the injuries ripped through it. Listen, if you want to argue Martinelli, I will forever be a Martinelli truther. He is, I mean, I'm as day one as it gets with Gavin Martinelli. I remember him being 17 years old, wearing number 35 in the MLS tournament, scoring a header in his first game for the Arsenal. There's never going to be a day where I turn my back on Martinelli, and I actually think he'd be a really good option down the middle. And it sucks that he is injured right now, because it'd be cool to see him play there and see if that works, since he's very much being misused on the left wing, it looks like, under Arteta, which, maybe he doesn't fit Arteta's system, and maybe that's something too. But I will always be a truther. They have that quality at the number 9 position, and that's really the main difference. If you said right now that Salah, call it Gakpo, Jota, and Nunez are all out, even keep Luis Diaz, that's fine. Liverpool aren't looking anywhere like what they're looking right now, and they'd have a lot of questions too. You know what I mean? So it's different. I still think, like you said, there was an opportunity to add to a real, if you want to say Havertz deserves a spot in the starting 11 or Martinelli deserves a spot in the starting 11, I think you'd make that argument for both. But The only guy who like you felt amazing about, incredible about to mount a title charge was obviously Saka in that front three. So yeah, I think it's fair looking back to say they needed another person and they didn't splash the cash. They just didn't do it. Sesko, too high of a price. Nico Williams, it looked like he wanted to stay, although pretty heavy rumors now that he's coming this summer, and that's looking more and more likely, which would be electric. Whoever else you want to name, Osimhen, that situation was weird. The Isak thing, I think, is really the big one that missed a couple years ago with Newcastle. So you can say whatever you want, but this is the point we are at now. Yes, we're going to need reinforcements. Yes, we probably should have had another attacking option that wasn't named Raheem Sterling. But as far as
with Raheem, what a guy!
It's just not a depth thing. It's like the guys that you had weren't good enough. Yeah, the guys that you had, you needed one more elite attacker to be. I think you need two elite attackers to be mounting a Premier League challenge, and Arsenal only had one, and they're still in the race. So who knows? Maybe they'll prove us wrong. But I get your point.
Yes, still in the race and got some help from Everton as we go into them. Last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, and I thought, Nick, for a second, it was going to be magic. Everton went up 1-0. I was feeling great. Beto with another goal. I mean, he's been really our only option, but he's made it so you don't have to think really anything other than, he's the guy up top. So instant goal there. Super happy. And then before I could even really celebrate for too long, McAllister comes back and gets the equalizer. It's drawn for a while, and then, of course, Mo Salah gives Liverpool the lead. I was like, I thought that was just it, to be completely honest. I thought that's just how it was going to go. But then, 90th plus 8th minute, bouncing through the box, and big old James Tarkowski comes through, just laces it into the back of the net. Wild celebration. What a wild game. Final game at Goodison Park. We end even on wins with Liverpool at home at Goodison Park with a draw here. Takes 2 points away from that game in hand that Liverpool had there on Arsenal. Obviously gives Everton just another point. That point does put them above a certain Manchester United we talked about. Nick, tell me if I'm crazy or not, but Beto under Moyes has been like a man possessed. He has been putting the ball in the back of the net very consistently. When everybody gets healthy, we have a lot of people injured right now, but when everybody's healthy, is it not still his job? He seems like he's the answer. Or is it just Moyes' system, you think, that we're actually attacking now, that's the difference?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, definitely. Moyes has shifted this club night and day. You can't even recognize the team that's playing right now from the team earlier in the year, slowly climbing up the table, and I don't think that's going to stop.
Unbeaten.
Yeah, but listen, credit to Beto. The one thing he always did, the one thing he told us in his opening press conference, he was going to work his ass off, and he has been. A lot of these goals haven't been pretty. He's been in the right spot. He's been, working hard to get there. So huge credit to him. That goal at the end of the Merseyside, that is what this sport is all about. That is what it is built on. The stadium going crazy, your captain center back just roofing one. That is football heritage right there, in a perfect way for Goodison to kind of bow out of the Merseyside derby. So amazing game there. It picked up another couple points, picked up another goal for Beto on the weekend. I tried to look up when I was making the sheet. I was like, man, Beto's been on fire. He still only has 5 goals on the season. So it's just...
It's out like the last 5 games. It's like an absurd run. It's like...
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's been crazy. So he definitely, I think, deserves to keep the starting spot. But I think it just gives you the right as Moyes, to go with the hot hand once DCL comes back. And at least you have options to pick from. Back then it was like shit or shitter. And now you can say, okay, it's not DCL's day. Let's put Beto in. It's not Beto in. Okay, let's put DCL in. So it's always good to have options, especially at the 9 position.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it is even better to have options of people who can create goals. Unfortunately for Everton, 2 of those options are injured. NDI getting injured here just recently, should be back in early March, it looks like it's saying. So, But a certain tennis player or Argentine midfielder, whichever way you want to look at it, Carlos Alcaraz, with a goal and assist on the weekend. Nick, I mean, when Diago's down, that's kind of been all of Everton's attack for most of this year. I mean, obviously McNeil has been a big part when he's been healthy, but for the most part, it has been just really a lot ran through NDI, and he's been the difference maker. Carlos Alcaraz comes in, and he's putting on shows. He is looking like a real player here for Everton. Once you get both of them back, I mean, how much does that boost up Everton? Now you have a two-dimensional offense. We talked about that with Arsenal, of needing different attackers on a much different level for Everton. Injuries and all running through one player has been a similar factor here for Everton. Getting them back and this form, I mean, are we talking Champions League here, Nick?
No, we're not. But dude, what a guy this kid is. I mean, I love the signing. I remember that January signing. That's gonna, at the end of the season, you're already it's worth whatever he costs. I think it's like a buy option, right, for 20 million, or buy obligation, something like that. I mean, you already sent that contract yesterday, probably to just confirm that option. But great player. Looks like he fits in, making the players around him look better. I thought Harrison looked solid versus Palace. I thought Lindstrom looked solid versus Palace. That assist he had to Beto, just the patience to wait for the right time until sliding him through. It's a 2-on-1. It's not that difficult, but always on the front foot, always looking to attack. Looks like he's always in the 18, trying to be alert, get on the ball, react before defenders do.
Composure of the finish.
Composure on the finish. He's just a really, really good lower table player, man. I think that's what he is, and I think he's exactly what Everton needed, and I can't believe they were able to find something like him in the January window. That kind of impact is so hard to do at any point, but especially in January. Really been impressed with him, and hope he has a long career at Everton. Hope he stays for a while, because that team looks different with them. And even at West Ham, Moyes always liked having like three different attacking options behind that 9. Benrahma, Bowen, take your pick. There was always a lot of like creative ability and people who can kind of link up together and can take some responsibility. So you're right. When these guys get back, that 3 behind the number 9 of McNeil and Dye and Carlos Alcaraz, I think that's good enough. I mean, health permitting, obviously, but like that's a very good mid-table attacking midfield. You know what I mean? Like that is talent. So can't wait for this team to get healthy, but also can't wait to watch him next weekend, because he's going to keep doing it. He's a dangerous direct player. Like him a lot.
Yeah, next weekend we'll get into that. They play a certain team that wears red. Let's get into those featured matchups, though. Let's stick with the Merseyside for a busy time for Liverpool. Nick, this is, I think, a gigantic weekend for what the title race will end up being. It's 7 points off right now. If Arsenal have a chance, I think a big part of that chance is this kind of turnaround. They're playing Wednesday, Aston Villa, and on the weekend, they're playing Manchester City. Aston Villa's in 9th right now. They're not on the greatest run of form. Manchester City, I mean, we kind of all know what's been happening with them, the struggles they've had, and how they got just kind of train wrecked by Arsenal. But nevertheless, it is still Manchester City. Marmoush just got a hat trick in their last game. And Aston Villa has all the talent to beat just about anyone. How do you see this going for Liverpool? These are two massive matchups within the same week, congested for them. Is there dropped points here for Liverpool? And if they don't drop points, how much does that just solidify them as starting a bit of run away with it?
Yeah, it's a big 6 points, dude. I mean, they didn't look great against Wolves. It doesn't matter. 3 points at this point in the year is all you need. But maybe some fatigue starting to set in. And I mean, Villa at the midweek, City at the weekend. That is as hard of a swing as it can get. So drop points, I think, will definitely, especially with just West Ham coming up, especially with some guys coming back for Arsenal. It's a big weekend. You're absolutely right. I don't think they get 6 out of 6 points here. Do you?
I don't know. I mean,
I mean, 4 points
Man,
is great for them, right?
4 Prem
4
games
points, I think, is good.
4 Prem games
Yeah.
in 2 weeks is kind of crazy.
It's hard, man. Yeah, like that is a congested schedule. I would say 3 is what I'm expecting. 2, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Villa and City back to back after a Merseyside derby, after a gutsy win versus Wolves. That is 4 games in what? Total 14 days. Palmer's right, 2 weeks. That is not easy, especially with Salah, who, was having some injury concerns as of late. Nothing serious, obviously, but he, that team goes as he goes, and a congested schedule. I don't know, man. Maybe it's me being hopeful, but they're not coming away with 6 for sure. 4 would be a huge win if you're a Liverpool fan.
Why would you say that? Knock on some wood right now.
No, I don't need to. I don't think it's even possible that they come away with 6. That is very, very difficult.
Why
and if they do,
are you doing this?
Look, man. If they
Jinxing
do,
them into the title.
if they do, credit to them, because that is very, very difficult to do. And maybe they just prove they are the cream of the crop this year. But I just don't see it happening. And I think a window maybe does start to open up.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is when we kind of see what the run-in is going to be. If Liverpool don't drop points here, I'm going to be honest, Nick, I have just about zero faith that they are dropping 7 points to lose this gap that they have. If there's some drop points here, I mean, it would be massive if they only come out of these 2 games with 3 points. I think 4 is maybe the more realistic of the maybe 1 draws. They don't get all the way across the finish line, but if Aston Villa or Manchester United or Manchester City, Jesus, definitely not Manchester United. If Aston Villa or Manchester City can pull off a result here, I mean, that is absolutely massive for Arsenal. That puts them firmly in it because they still have a game against Liverpool. And then you're looking at one other game being a worse result than what Arsenal does throughout the rest of the season. I mean, that's fine margins. That's getting it a lot closer. So, I mean, keep a very close eye on this starting Wednesday against Aston Villa and then into the weekend versus Manchester City. Some massive matchups for the season.
And by the way, both of those teams need points. Like, they need this game. Villa is, if you tell Villa fans at the beginning of the year they're missing out on any sort of European football, that is a huge disappointment. Right now they are 3 points off of 7th. I mean, they need those points big time. Man City has Bournemouth staring down their throat, as well as Chelsea 1 point behind. So these are teams that need it. Marmoush, starting to gain some form. It looks like could be just the right time for City and Arsenal fans. It's gonna be a test, man. If they can come away with 6, that'd be crazy. I just don't see it happening.
I mean, it is so competitive towards the top. So every game at this point for any of those teams around the European conversation, it's going to be balls to the wall to race to the finish here and see who can end up with European spots, because it seems like teams are going on runs and dropping other teams every other week. I mean, Newcastle's down in 7th right now. We were just talking about what a run they were on, and it all switches up here. Speaking of runs, we go to that team we talked about that wears red, Manchester United, playing up against Everton here. Nick, I mean, I don't know if this is just cockiness of form, but I feel like I would take Everton's squad at this point, the way they're playing, over Manchester United's. I know the top end talent of Bruno Fernandes when he's performing is great, but he's not. Nobody is on that Manchester United squad. So, I mean, Everton should be favored in this, no?
Yeah, on form alone, they definitely are. They just lost to a real shaky Tottenham side, obviously, and ultimately, they still have names in their starting 11. They're still starting Højlund, who, I mean, what a horrible sophomore season he's had. They're still starting a Casemiro, a De Ligt, but none of these guys look good. I don't know. They played like a 5-back last game, man. They are lost. They don't know what to do at the moment. So I honestly expect Everton to get 3 points here, which is not something you would usually say in a game like this, or expect them to get 3 points against anyone. That is impressive. Long way Everton has come. Yeah, they're the better team right now.
Yeah, I mean, we just got a draw versus Liverpool, so I think that's just a massive confidence booster. And what Moyes has done to this team to turn around the confidence, I mean, it is crazy. Something that Amarin has not really been able to do at Manchester United. But once again, I just think those players are just. You saw flashes with Everton that they could have been a lot better. Manchester United, I just don't see those flashes that I'm like, oh yeah, that is an amazing team. If they just can really get it to click, it's just never clicked. It's just not showing anything. I feel like they're just the Red Devils. They're in a bit of like purgatory. I don't think they're going to go down. Like we said, they're 12 points above Ipswich. I don't think Ipswich all of a sudden makes that up. But they're not getting into Europe unless something drastic changes. So is it just ride out Ruben Amorim to the rest of the season in this kind of shitty position of you're playing like shit, you're playing like shit, and nothing's changing as you just spin your wheels until you can invest?
He needs to be braver with some of these lineup decisions. Give some kids some shots. Make a statement. Bench for net something. Because I mean, listen, like we said, you're 12 points off relegation. You have a cushion there, but you're also like what 15 off of Conference League. Like that is not an easy. I mean, you're basically playing for nothing. You're about as mid-table as it gets. So try something. Send a message to the squad. Get your tactics going. Don't like make the best of what you have. Like set forward and start laying that path right now. Would be my call. He doesn't strike me as a guy who's going to do that. It looks like he's just trying to play it game by game at a second. But at a certain point, you got to think about the big picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's simply not working over there at Manchester United. So
Everton's
we'll see what happens.
Everton's like a top half boogeyman right now, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to play Everton at this point. I think it's a team that you went into the season saying we are going to beat them. Yeah, that's 3 points that we should have. And with this run of form, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to run into them. I don't think of the bottom half of the table.
Boogeyman is a strong.
Boogeyman might be strong, but it's the team you don't want to face right now. Of the bottom half of the table, there's not a team that you'd say, "Damn, I really don't want to play that." Other than Everton, I mean, 5 games unbeaten. That's not bottom
Palace,
half.
You don't want to play Palace. I would say, their talent alone. Who else is in the bottom? No, fair. Yeah, no. I think you're right, but there's
Ipswich.
Right. Anywho,
Brentford, I guess.
Yeah, they're barely bottom half table, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Let's get into. We talked a lot about some good games here. Let's get into our lock of the week here before our Wonder Grid segment, and let's check in on how we did. Manchester 2, Tottenham 1 was not a great guess there. Sticking with the Red Devils was not the way to go, but the Toffees came out on top over Palace 2-1. Predicted 3-1. That's a major respect moment. Top 10 sportsmanship moments right there. Top 10 disrespectful moments. Me choosing Liverpool 4-0 over Wolves.
Well, look good.
Wolves ended up scoring a goal though, so good for them. Cunha is just individually amazing with a god awful team. Let's do a little score update. We are at 13. 13, 14, and 13. So I tie it up with Mike here. Nick is now our top dog, our leader of the clubhouse. And Nick, what have you gone for top dog in this week here?
I really have faith that we'll be able to grind out some results. I think we have some leaders in the back line and in the midfield, and I'm choosing to trust them. So the striker thing is a big deal. I'm going Gunners 1-0 to the Arsenal over West Ham.
All right, there we go. Mike is, in fact, in Costa Rica, like we said, with Keylor Navas doing his thing. So we're giving him Everton, just riding with his boys, and due to a forfeit score, we're going 3-0. And God, I just can't wait for that to actually happen and him get 2 points off of it. But
it's gonna murder me.
I would be so fucking happy if that does happen, regardless.
That's fair, yeah. That would be great.
It's a double positive. I have gone with Bournemouth, the Cherries, and Tyler Adams with a 3-1 win over Wolves. Who'll score that one goal for Wolves, Nick?
Cunha, only guy they got.
Yep, the only fucking guy. The only fucking guy that could. I say Cunha. I say Tyler Adams hat trick.
Dude, Bournemouth is in 5th in the table. That's insane.
Yeah, they're absurd. They have a lot of talent on that team. Like,
yeah.
Run through that team, they have some players playing very, very well, and Tyler Adams has been a massive part of that. He's just a free safety. Like, any ball comes in, he's just blowing up the plays before anything gets started. He is Tyler Adams, really.
By the way, how have we not talked about Chelsea kind of falling off here? At a certain point, they were tied with points for Arsenal. They are just going down the table. These guys were. I said it early in the year. These kids were not ready for this stage. Obviously, still a young team, but to be in 6th after you were, some people called it a 3-horse race after they tied Arsenal. Like that is not proved to be the case. Yeah, fuck you, Chelsea. Goddamn.
I'm glad you said that because Enzo Maresca actually came out with a quote. Speaking of quotes of Ange Postecoglou, Enzo Maresca came out, said he wasn't impressed at all by Fabian Hertzler, and he thinks other people like De Zerbi, who was there before him, were much more impressive and much better managers or something like that. And then he gets fucking shellacked 3-0 by Brighton. Yeah, he got bent right on over and taught a lesson by Brighton and Fabian Hertzler. Which, once again, I don't know how many times people have to learn this. Don't talk shit on another team right before playing them. Don't wildly disrespect them. Bulletin board material.
What did he have to gain from that? Like, there was no point in making that comment.
I don't know. He just loves De Zerbi, I suppose, and hates Fabian Hertzler, but...
yeah, they have to be. I mean, they're both Italian, right?
Yeah, I guess. I suppose, but random shot at Fabian Hertzler to then get shit on 3-0.
Yeah.
We will check in on our lock of the week here, but first we are starting a new segment here with not all the boys, but at least 2 of us here to start guessing, and it is the Wonder Grid. So with this, it shows you here a grid, some clubs, some nationalities, and some amount of goals in a season, and we have to put a name to the different quadrants. The more random, the more better the guess here, Nick. So we're running it together. Nick, do you want to open it up with a guess here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the hardest one is Galaxy Leverkusen. I only have one name for that. It's just Chicharito, right? Like that's the only. Like,
the thing
is there another guy?
Goes for like all these categories.
Yeah, we might just do Chicharito for all 3 of them.
Chicharito for literally every single one. Yeah, I think that's.
Or let's start.
How do I spell that?
Was well, it's Javier Hernandez. Javier.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Javi.
Yep.
Oh no. Is that him? Yep. Okay, cool. What percentage is that?
61%. Fuck. That's not great.
Not great.
Juventus and LA Galaxy, the only one I can think of, quite honestly, is just Douglas Costa. But I think that might be a high guess one. But let's run with it. Douglas Costa for LA Galaxy and Juventus. Let us know if you guys have some deep cuts in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking of. Oh, it's not bad.
Was it 15?
19%?
19?
I can't see this. I need fucking glasses.
Right.
I mean Zlatan, right? For the next one.
Zlatan? Yeah, I think that's better than saying like David Beckham.
Yeah. Feels like I don't know, felt obvious.
Yeah. Feels like, let's see.
What?
26, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'll take it. It. Around 25 is where we want to be with our ball knowledge.
Yeah. 10 league goal season and Manchester United. I don't know if this is at all true. I'm just throwing it out there because I think it might be a low odd. But Park Ji-sung for...
No, dude. He did not have 10 league goals. Don't put that.
I don't know if he did. I don't know.
He did not have 10 league goals.
We can say Berbatov.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know if people would put that. Good luck spelling that. It's Dmitry Berbatov.
B-E-R-B.
Yeah.
B-E-R-B.
Yeah, I would not go it. Yeah, you're gonna struggle to find that one there.
Go B-E-R-B. B-E-R-B. There it is.
There you go.
Dimitar.
Berbatov. Let's
5%.
go. Let's go. 5% nasty. All right.
All right.
You want to go like Did Moise Keane have a 10 league goal season with Juve?
I don't think so.
No. Let's just go Mandzukic. It's fine.
Mandzukic, that's not bad. No, I like that.
Juventus 10 league goals. Let's go Mandzukic. M-A-N-D.
M-A-N-D. He should come up. And D as in dog.
D-D-D-Z.
Dog.
Dog. I love that guy.
Ooh,
Let's
nice
go.
call.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Let's go.
Chicharito really fucked us. We really went too easy with
Yeah, I
that one.
know. I mean, can you think of another guy though? I can't. No.
I can't. I think also the Americans at these clubs are going to be a little
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
low percentage because there hasn't been many.
Yeah.
Leverkusen 10+ goal season.
King Kai?
Kai Havertz? You think that's a low one or?
I don't know. Who's an older striker for them? They used to have like a blonde guy. What was the name of their blonde striker? It was like on the team that had Sven Bender. Shit. I don't know.
Should we say Sven Bender?
No,
Is
he
it-
didn't have 10 goals. He's like a
I kinda
CDM,
disagree with
brother.
What about Son? Youngman's son.
Oh, yeah.
People think of him as Leverkusen at all?
No, I don't think so. I like that. He definitely had 10
Alright.
league goals, right?
I'd hope so. Let's see. Son
Who's
Heung-min,
first?
first one.
First.
First one.
First one.
The first guy at the top.
Okay.
Did he? Fuck, I don't know if he did.
Five.
5%. We love it.
I didn't know if he had like a wonder kid kind of season, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
All
he's a
right.
stud, though.
USA, Manchester United. The only one I'm really thinking is Tim Howard.
Yeah, that's all I can think of too.
Yeah. Tim
Let's go for
Howard.
it. Ah,
Yeah,
oof.
that's a fuck. To be fair, there's not that many options, so they kind of have to say.
Who gets
say that.
picked more, Timmy Weah or McKennie? Do you think? There's another American at Juve. Who's another American at Juve? There had to be another one.
There has.
I thought there was another.
I mean, Weah probably gets chosen last, so I feel like we should
That's-
go Weah.
Weah, yeah, Timmy Weah.
Weah.
Timothy.
Brother.
Brother.
Just say Weah, please.
W-E-A.
And Timothy. 31.
Okay.
Oh, damn. They got like a U17 picture for him.
All right, Leverkusen American. Flex the American knowledge.
I don't even know if I had Brad Friedel, I think. Is that did he play there? I feel
How
there was
about
a few there.
did Reyna play on them? Dad? Did Dad Reyna?
I don't know, honestly. The old heads. Is it
He
Where
played
did
in
I say
Germany.
earlier?
I know that.
Casey
Who else
Keller or
played-
Brad Friedel? I think.
Then isn't Jermaine Jones German?
Jermaine Jones was Schalke though.
Oh shit.
All right. Fuck.
Sean the Dart,
bad.
Claudio Reyna.
Yeah, throw it out there. Reyna. Not Gio.
Not Gio. Claudio.
Let's see.
Oh, let's go.
Holy
Damn.
good shit, boys.
51.
Well done.
Let's go. Wait, how good of a score is 251?
Yeah, we have no idea.
All right, that's our record. That's our
Wait,
record. Next week we'll beat a
average
251. Hit X.
All right, so we
hit
just need
X,
to beat 251.
hit
Oh,
X.
average score. Okay. Oh, holy shit. Landon Donovan at Leverkusen. What the hell was I thinking? Oh, damn. That's pretty
happy
bad.
I got
It's not
Claudio
going to
Reyna.
lie.
What are these
Most
numbers?
popular.
I don't know what any of this means.
Yeah, I mean,
Possible.
Oh,
hit
that's
X.
the possible. That's a possible
Six.
amount of answers.
Oh,
show
that's the amount of guys you could name.
Show,
Got it,
show
got
the
it.
6 people. Can you click on the show for the American Leverkusen?
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus,
This.
open it up.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Up, up, up,
Go,
up,
go,
up, up, up.
up. No,
Nope,
up.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Okay.
Right there. Thomas Dooley.
Dooley.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jermaine
these guys are a
Jones.
lot older. Jermaine Jones. There you go.
Damn, I went
David
2 for 2.
Yeldell. Do not know that guy, but
No.
the rest are some old heads and Jermaine Jones. So,
Hey, he played with Landon. Wow.
well. I don't
Wait,
know
go.
if he
What
played.
percent was Claudio Reyna? Go back to the thing.
Where am I?
I think it just showed the most popular and
Click X out of this thing. 10.
10.
All right.
10. They don't got a picture for him. Damn.
I think it's
What was the score?
All right.
251?
Yeah.
All right, that's the score to beat.
251.
Next week.
All right.
Come back, Footies
Yeah.
with the boys. Beat our score. That was grid 255, I think, or something like that. 545, something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you guys did well.
Something like that. Yeah, not the worst. I think we had a couple that were pretty tough to have really better answers on, but
Yeah, all right.
there we go, boys. Let us know in the comments what you think of what we did there. We struggled on some American players, so let's get in and retouch up on some American knowledge. Let's get into the U.S. men's national team corner. Gonna be a quick one today. We start with Weston McKennie and Juventus and Americans. He captained the side up against Inter Milan in a win there. He had a hell of a performance. He's been playing the 10, kind of attacking mid, playing very, very well for them. Tim Weah had a Montoya por favor type of run back into the defense to slide tackle the Inter player, saving a goal for Juventus. He's had a hell of a performance for them as well. So big for them out of Italy. Pulisic not starting. He came off the bench for AC Milan. So interesting to keep an eye on that. In Italy, Daryl Dike is back. So we've talked a lot about striker injuries. He's been out for an entire year. Finally made his
fucking
return
house,
for
bro.
West Brom. Yeah, he's gigantic, man.
Look at the size of that fucker. Holy shit.
Yeah, he is our own Akinfenwa type striker. Just insane amount of physical talent and just body. So he is now back for West Brom. Excited to see maybe where he's at, but certainly lost a lot of development with 2 year-long injuries here. Paxton Aronson, though, center attack and mid, brother of Brendan Aronson in the Eredivisie, the 3rd youngest American to score 10 career goals in the Eredivisie, scoring for Utrecht. Just another 10 option. I mean, we talk about Gio Reyna. He's not really playing much for Borussia Dortmund. Malik Tillman out with an extended injury for PSV. And we talked about the next Lamine Yamal and Kevin Sullivan. But
would you pick this guy over Reyna, even though Reyna's not playing?
No, I'd 100% choose Gio Reyna over him.
I was
But
about to say.
just another option
psycho
on
for
the
that.
depth chart. Yeah, no. Just trying to throw him out there. He could be a, around Diego Luna tier, kind of final man off the bench. Could be in there if he goes on a big run of form around Nations League Cup time. Who knows what's going on? And then biggest thing here is Josh Sargent scores another goal, and in the clip it shows a squirrel running on the field, and then 2 seconds later it turns over to him on the camera, and he's scoring a header for Norwich again. It feels like 5th goal in the last 7 games. He's on one, as the kids say. Palmer, how confident do you feel in little Joshy Sargent as our striker? I mean, we've heard a lot about him.
You guys talk so much about
You
this
like
guy,
him?
and every time he gets on the squad, he gets the bed, man. I really want him to play well. I think it might be the hair. I think that's his problem. I think we need to do something about
That
the
might be
hair.
discrimination.
Grow out the beard a little bit. Get him a little more chiseled. Get him a little more beefier, dude. Less injury prone. Have him fucking eating some sushi on the sidelines. Whatever you need to do.
Excuse me. Listen, Sargent, you can feel it. Let us know in the comments how confident you are, Sargent.
That's how the Rock is so big. Other than the
bulking-
steroids.
The bulking method is sushi?
Yeah, isn't that what the Rock does?
I can't say I know, but I feel like you have to eat a lot of sushi, and at that point, the mercury might just be.
I suspect Dwayne the Rock Johnson
Be a
eats
killer.
plenty of sushi.
I don't think that's his name.
If that's his bulking method.
Let us know in the comments if you guys bulk with sushi or not. But Palmer, that is it for us. Nick is on the shitter, most likely. Probably not, but I'm going to say it anyways because he can't defend himself.
So is Josh
So until
Sargent.
next time, Josh Sargent, salute to our Sergeant who will be leading the line in March, most likely, unless we have even shittier injury news, which you will hear on Footy with the Boys. Peace. Toffees.